Hey basketball coaches and players, today I am going to give you some 4-out, 1-in basketball plays that can get you open 3-point shots. Let's get down and let's check out these basketball plays. Okay, so this first play is up against a man-to-man defense, and what we are going to start with is player 3 setting a screen for player 1. And at the same time, we're going to be having player 5 set up a screen for player 4. Player 4 is going to be cutting through, and that is the player that we are going to be looking at when getting this shot. However, what I want to see is player 3 cutting across. Instead of cutting towards the rim, I want to see him cutting across and then back out towards the 3-point line. And there's a reason behind this. So if player 4 is open for that shot, better give it to him for that shot. Player 1 could also be taking the 3-point shot as well. Now, from there, what we can have, if none of these players are open, is after player 3 pops back out, we're going to have player 2 set that screen for player 3, and player 3 is going to be looking for a skip pass over for that 3-point shot. This way we have 1, 2, and 3 options for the 3-point shot. Now we're going to be going up against a 2-3 zone defense. And against a 2-3 zone defense, what we want to try and do is to actually overload the side. And how we're going to be doing that is to have player 4 set a screen up for player 1. Player 1 is going to be using that screen, and he's going to be going down towards this low corner. Now, player 1 is not necessarily going to be looking to fight through because, of course, now player 1 is in 4's area. From there, we're going to have player 2 cutting across, player 4 still setting that screen or setting up a secondary screen, this time for player 2 to hit that 3-point shot. Meanwhile, player 3 on the weak side, he needs to get in, and player 4 needs to cut in as well, because now we want to have 3 players to be getting that rebound. Now, in this next play works against a 2-3 as well as a 3-2 zone defense, and what we are going to be having is player 1 passing the ball into player 5, and we're going to be having player 4, he's going to be cutting across, and same as player 3. Both of these players are going to be cutting across, and after player 1 makes that pass, he's going to be cutting down towards this corner. Essentially, what we are doing here is now with player 4 and 3 crossing, and then player 1 cutting down, what we are essentially doing here is to collapse that defense. And usually what happens is one of these 2 players will be open for the 3-point shot, and player 5 just basically needs to make the right decision on who is open. The other options, sometimes what happens, and this doesn't happen very often, but it's something for player 5 to really pay attention to, is when this player cuts across, player 3 follows down, but he doesn't pay attention to the other player cutting it back across, because usually that player is going along the baseline, and if that's the case and player 3 is looking this way, he's lost this man. Player 5 needs to pass out to player 4 for that 3-point shot. Now, in this next and final play, what we are going to be looking to do is get our best 3-point shooter, let's say in this case it's player 4, an open 3-point shot on this side. What we are going to have is player 5 set a screen for player 4, player 3 is going to go down into the low post, and now player 4 is going to be using that screen and also using player 3 as a screen if his man fights through. And now player 1 is going to pass over to player 4 for that 3-point shot. Now, if player 4 is not open and his man fought through and got through successfully, we're going to have player 2 and 5. They're going to be setting up a double screen for player 3. And now player 3 is going to be popping out, and player 1 is going to pass over to player 3 for the 3-point shot. So we have our main option over here, and then we will have our backup option with player 3 on the other side of the court. This is something that you should try to do as often as possible in your plays, is to have options on both sides of the court, especially against zones, and that way you're going to be able to have at least one player open. If you're looking for a very good defense, make sure to go check out my unbeatable zone defense and perimeter basketball defense down in the description below. And if you're looking for a fantastic offense that's easy, that's the 5-out basketball offense. Again, go check out the link down below. I'll see you guys again next time.